How's it going, everybody? How's everybody on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube? Lads, thanks very much for tuning in. I don't know if this is getting to you or not, but I have to say it's getting to me a little bit. And today I was going, oh Christ, this is too much. Today was the first day that I actually went to the supermarket. I generally we were doing stuff online. I have to say it freaked me out a bit, and it's pretty weird when you see people queuing up and 2 meters apart with masks on them. I've been sort of cooped up here in my little room, sculpting away, not really thinking about stuff. But yeah, it's pretty weird, and hopefully we will find out more in a couple of weeks whether it's going to sort of go away or not. But what I would ask people today, people who are joining in, share, like it, and tell your friends that we're joining in for sculpting today. And I'm going to go through a few things today. One is I finished the shoulder, and the other one is symmetry. I've been working on symmetry. There's a few things off, and I've been thinking about and sort of working on the thing I posted out this morning, Sculpt the Skull. And to Sculpt the Skull, if you've signed up for that, fantastic. I've shared out a competition today, and that is for a half a block, 450 grams of Chavant. It's Chavant green. It's the medium. It's this is the red. It's exactly the same as what I use here. So that's what went out today in a competition. So if you want to win that, do what it says on the post and join up to the online course. Now, the online course, at the minute, there is 50 people. I wasn't expecting 50 people. That's bloody brilliant. But let's try and get more. Like, imagine if we could get to 100. It would be brilliant. Just 100 people sculpting a skull. Now, and this is people all around Ireland and all around the world. There's people who join up from England. One was from Mexico last night. Pretty weird. I'm not too sure how they're going to understand my accent, though. So what I would ask is share it out, and even now, share out. Tell people what we're doing today. Feck it with Becket, and trying to distract ourselves with a little bit more sculpting. So share that out. Just a note, when you go on to the website and you sign up, what you automatically get is an email back and a PDF. That PDF, I've actually improved it since. I've been working on it, and I am going to improve it before we go live with the actual sculpting workshop itself. The sculpting workshop for the Sculpt the Skull, it will be on the 9th of May, a Saturday. And what I'm asking people is, what would they prefer? Like, would they prefer a long day, or would they prefer it over a period of time? I am more than happy, absolutely more than happy, that we would spend the day on that Saturday sculpting the skull. And I would think that we would have that skull finished in that day. So, or if people wanted to stretch it out over like maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks, I'm happy with that as well. So whoever is joining in, and there's new people who want to join in on the, go up onto the website and sign up. And just tell me what you think. If you'd like it over a full day, and like me, the way I work, I like to work intensively, and I like to throw myself into what I'm doing. And for me, it works for a full day. For the people who want to do it, that might not work for them. So have a look, sorry, not have a look, but think about it. Send me a message. Tell me what you think, lads. And if you're out there and you want to say hello, lads. It can be a bit lonely in here where you're fucking just talking to a screen surrounded by Becket, and there's a monster over there, and there's an owl one behind me, and a skull in the corner. So let me know who's online and who's not online. So what I started with today is, last week, when was it? Jesus, Saturday. Today is Saturday. So last Wednesday, think, yeah, it was building up this and with the Saturday before, building up this shoulder. There was no right hand side to this shoulder. So I am glad to say, because it took a while, that the shoulders are finished. No, there's no detail on them, but the symmetry wise, I'd say they're about 80% there. That's why I'm going. You'll probably see lines. I'll go through that in a minute. And that's what I'm about to do, is work on symmetry, just to make sure that everything is not that head is symmetrical, but there are general things that should actually happen. If it's not happening, I just want to check it. I want to make sure that it's not going completely off. So that's what I'm checking. But it's nice to be able to say that this side and this side are finished. That took a long time to do, but I have to say, to see it zing like that, that's very satisfying, extremely satisfying. So what I was doing before I come on live was, lads, stick that, hit that share button, hit that like button, and tell me, if you're here and you're actually enjoying it. Let me know, because at the minute I don't know what people are thinking or not. Unless you tell me what you're thinking, either typing or whatever, let me know. So symmetry, that's what I was doing before you came online. Now, if you look, you can see, I don't know if you can see, you should be able to see, there are lines down through the center, and there are lines going across the breastbone. I am going to, I have a line going up the complete center of the face. I'm not really worried about the lines, and I think full day would be more honest in terms of how much time you would have to do and be expected. Yeah, well, we could look at it like that. That's in the industry, that's what you would expect to do. But there are people on here that are complete novices, haven't got a clue how to sculpt. But I still think that a day would be better than an hour here, an hour there. So if people, give me your opinion. If it is that you want to do a full day, now lads, a full day, I'll work on that, but it's not going to be 6 o'clock in the morning. I think it would be better intensive than rather than starting on a Saturday, then waiting on a Wednesday, and then go on to the next Saturday. But you tell me if that's which way you want to do it or not. But you can see the center line going down to the center head. I would always do this. They get rubbed out, put them back. I'd even do these no matter what size the sculpt it is, whether it's a small one, whether it's a large one. The one in Mockness's or Mockness, they are about 4 foot high, and I'd still have black markers just showing me where the center lines are. I will draw, there's a line that goes from the corner of the eye, and you can see the corner of the eye here, and it comes across to the ear, and I try and keep that parallel to the ground. For this, it's parallel to the board that I'm working on. And what I've been doing is using the calipers to make sure that things are right. There's a few bits that are not, and I know they're not, but I'm trying to figure out where they are. Like, for instance, this muscle here, it comes out too far. It's not the same as this muscle. This muscle looks right to me. So they need to scoop around a little bit more. So therefore, I could pull this in a bit more. I think I've gone out a bit too far. The reason why I think I've gone out too far here is because I'm trying to get symmetry-wise going from the left-hand side. Don't know what that is when you're looking at it. The line down the center on this side is his left-hand side. On this side is his right-hand side. But his jaw over here looks right, and I'm trying to emulate that over here because it looks like this is too far in. When this is too far in, this is too far in. So what I'm trying to do at the minute, symmetry-wise, and it is right. I've been going off the drawing, off the actual references, and it felt like it wasn't. But as I said before, trust the reference. The reference is right. It's him, so it has to be right. So I have measured off him. I've brought it back, and it is right to this side. This side is not right. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is to build that out. And I was thinking about it as well and looking at it, this area here looks a bit sunken in. It's now his cheekbones are very prominent. He is a little bit sunken in, but not as much sunken in as this. So when this comes out, this will come out, and then it'll look right. The other thing that I'm trying to sort out, and you probably see there's clean clay. It's a bit shiny here and here. Is that I have had in my head for the last week this sculpt the skull that I want to start, and so I've been looking at skulls an awful lot and looking at the anatomy of the skull. And when you look at the skull, especially the back of it and the frontal lobe, even when animators draw it, there is a ball inside there, and they would actually draw that ball, and then you build up off it. This one here, when looking at it from the back, I don't know if you can see it. Well, you might not be able to see it anymore, but you'll probably see it here, not here, because I've been building it up here. You see, it is a bit flat, so it needs to come out a little bit more and give that bulbous look. When you're looking at the actual images and reference, it does bulge out. I know his hair adds to that, but from the temple, when you're looking back, it should go out and go around. So from the temple, it should go out and go around. So that's what I'm trying to do today. Symmetry and getting the skull back in. So lads, if you want to try your luck, this time I am giving away 4 blocks of Chaban. Now those blocks of Chaban, they're the same as this, it's just a different color. And I will post them out to you. And what I'm going to do is, I think it's next Saturday, I said, I will post the winners next Saturday, and I've left it a week so that you should, well, I'd hope so, you should have the clay for the following Saturday, which is the 9th, and that's when I'm going to start doing the Sculpt the Skull workshop. So what would be great, and there's 50 people, is share it, send it out there, and let's get more on it. Get more people. Now, if anybody was like me before I came in here, you were outside enjoying the weather. So once I'm finished this, lads, that's exactly where I'm going outside. I have a digger waiting for me outside. Yes, a digger. And I am sculpting, which I like to think, sculpting a garden, which at the minute I wouldn't even call it a field. In Connemara, that's one thing you have a lot of, is rocks and holes. So I'm trying to make it a little bit less rocky and a little bit less holy. And it's taken forever. So what's handy is, and actually I want to put that line in, with this symmetry lines, and what's handy about this, I know that there is 90 degrees. That is 90 degrees. Now, it is sharp. It's not knife sharp, but it is sharp at the corner. And what I'm trying to do, that's what I was actually going to do before I came on, was I want to see this. This fella is this big, lads. I'm on a stool. It's the tallest stool I could get in IKEA. Now, maybe it's because I'm small. But what's brilliant about it, it only costs €30, and there's a step about, 9 inches up, and I can stand on it, so I can see above this fella's head. So what I'm going to do there, I've done a center line. So I want to go 90 degrees off that, and center line. So that was the distance from here down should be the same distance from here down. That's what I mean by symmetry. So that's what I'm going to be looking at today, and try and get his skull shape right, which is this part here. Now, what I've also wanted to put in, because it sort of helped, especially with the trying to get the skull shape. I'm putting, I don't know if you can see that, I'm putting in here the hairline. Now, he looks a bit like, I don't know if people out there would know who this is, Ming the Merciless from, what do you call it, Flash Gordon. So he has, and quite like myself, if you look at my hairline, he has that type of hairline. My kids call that the M for McDonald. So I'm putting that in as well. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time doing that. How are we all out there anyway? Fionnuala, what are you doing here? If you're not sculpting, you're embroidering. So I thought we give up on the sculpting. So if I measure from here back to the ear, well, two things I know is right there. From the corner of the eye back to let's see that part here. Well, the distance between the two is right. Let's hope that it is. No, it's not. It's a little bit off. So therefore, this ear is too far back, or this ear here is too far forward. I'm thinking this is too far forward because I spent a lot of time with this ear trying to get it right because I like working on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is correct this. Now, how do you correct it? Well, it's either that or that this eye socket is too far back. So to look at that, what I'm going to go from the bridge of the nose and to the corner of the eye. I can't fully do that. I have to use a little bit of a guesstimate. No, that looks right. That is right. So the corner of the eye, which is good because if it was wrong, those flipping eyes are in the wrong place. The ear is in the wrong place. Common thing that happen, and on this size here, it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the backside. But what I will do is actually probably use this. I'll clean that up, heat that up, and I'll literally cut off the ear. I'm not going to do that now. But I'm going to cut off that ear and push the ear back that little bit. So, but I will put the hairline in anyway. You can see what that is. Now, a word of warning about your oven. Now, that oven, I haven't cleaned that oven in, well, a long time. I've given up on scrubbing, don't you worry. Oh, yeah. Sure, I know that. Sure, we were talking about that. Fabulous talent. Great how you see such detail. Oh, that's Newgrange Willow. Thank you very much. But the detail at the minute, what you're seeing is the form, and I'm working on the form. The detail on that is going to go. Oh, there's a hell of a lot of work to do on that. So thank you that you can see the detail, but the detail is going to be like the detail will be down to pores. So that's what I want to get in on that would be the pores. So let me get this Ming the Merciless hairstyle done. So once I have these lines, I know that that line is parallel to the base. I know that it's the same distance. So all of that is right. So then I can flip it and flop it over. Just check that. No. Yeah. I'm going to check it from the eyeball to there. Eyeball to there. And I'm then going to get this M in. M for the hairline. And you'll be able to see how off that ear is in a minute. That in. I know there's a carpentry term lad measure twice, cut once. And there's a dude in there who's watching, Gavin Morgan, he'd appreciate that. So I keep checking and checking and checking. move that around. Up like that. Now I'm doing that so that I know what a hairline is, and then it's just helping me make sure that all this around here is symmetrical. And I've discovered that that ear, I'm going to check it again, is not symmetrical, not in the right place. So I'm going to see, yeah, I'm going to check from the tip of the nose to the part here. Oh yeah, that's well out. So yeah, well that's good. So it's about 20 mil out. So to rectify that, easy rectified. I'm going to color off and move back. I'm not going to do that today because that's a bit scary. Thanks, Paul. Paddy Hine, what's the story? Clodagh, how's it going? Judith Wu, my God, how are you? Does anybody know this answer? Because I've been trying to figure it out. How many days have we been on quarantine today? What in Ireland now? Judith, I think, unless I'm wrong, you're in Spain. So once I have those things, those parameters in place, it's a lot easier to measure off things and to make sure things are symmetrical. So that's what I'm just going to build up now. I'm going to cut this down first because that's what I will start off with. To pare it down, I'm going to use that loop tool. So, oh yeah, one thing I was going to mention, the what 750. Catherine, what are you saying there? No idea. I don't know. Did you say something before that? I don't know. So tell me what you were saying again. I didn't see that. This here is a loop tool, similar to the loop tools that was in the competition, but this is the bandsaw blade. So I'm going to use that. There is a rough side and there is a smooth side. Now, what I've been finding, and I might do it later, is that when I scope back into it, and this will pare stuff off, you'll see it falling off, and it goes on the floor. So what I'm going to get, I do this sometimes, it's a little bit of a trick. This board is sitting on my trestle. If I put a bit of card out here and lip up the card, the clay stays on the card, and therefore I just put it back in the oven, and I don't lose anything. Oh, sorry, what were you saying? 750 days in quarantine. I think it was the Friday after Cheltenham. Amory Eaton, you'd know. I'm trying to figure out how long have we been in quarantine. I was just wondering what day this was. So I'm going to spend a bit of time pairing this back, because center line to here, this line here, it's too far out. So I'm going to pair it back again. Just to mention as well, lads, I had somebody on to me, and they were asking about the sculpt the skull, and they were wondering what I'm getting out of it. What I'm getting something out of it, all right. There's 50 people joined, and they're going to do it. What I get out of it is that I stay sane, like you lot do. I'm only doing this to for something to do, for me to do. Hopefully you will learn something, and hopefully you will enjoy it. But am I getting anything out of it? I'm not sponsored. There's nothing like that, so I'm not too sure. They weren't. I don't know if they were happy with their lives, but I think they were thinking that I was pulling the wool over people's eyes, and I'm not. I just stuck it out, and we haven't started yet. It's on the 9th of May, so school, closure now is Thursday, the 12th of March. Thank you very much. I should have thought of that. I never thought of that. Sure, I was in college that day. So I'm not getting anything from the Sculpt to Skull. Sure, I'm giving stuff away. And yesterday I figured out that to post them, it cost me €24. So I don't know what this person is talking about. But yes, I'm getting stuff out of it. But what I'm getting out of it is not monetary. It's keeping sane. And if I can keep other people sane, cool. And as I said, there's 50 people. So let's try and get it to 100. Oh, be deadly. Cool. So as I said, these lines, I rub them out, and I'll work on top, and I'll rub again, and then I'll put them back, and then I'll rub again, and eventually it'll be what it should be. Right. So the 12th of March. So what does that make? Right, Amory, put your maths on. So from today, I can't do maths as well as Sculpt. So if we on the 12th of March, we went into quarantine. How many days? What's today? How many days are we in quarantine? I'm just trying to figure out how many of these I've done. Julie Parkinson, what's the story? Lads, what are ye lot doing inside on a beautiful day like this? So another thing I discovered is that line is parallel to the base. This one here, and this breastbone, the one, if you feel, it's the knobby bit here and here. Well, for me, Adam's apple, down below the hollow that's in there, either side is a bump. So that there is a bit, that's right, but this one here is a bit high, so I'm going to also take it down as well. So that's the handy thing about having these lines. Now you can see that line's gone, but if I need it, I can put it right back in. And I know some people think, and at times it feels like it, that symmetry is a dirty word. And trying to do it feels like more of a technical thing rather than a sculpting thing. But if you don't do it, you're going to have huge problems later on. So do it. You're kidding me. 44 days, mother of God. That's mad. That's mad. I'll have to work out how many of these I've done so far. And so. Now, I need some clay. Oh yes, I was going to talk about the safety of this oven. I've been up and down it. I haven't cleaned the oven in a while, and that's my next job, is clean that oven. There is a smell coming from the oven, and what I think it is not coming from above. What the elements are underneath a metal tray, and the cups sit on top of that metal tray. And what is happening is that the wax, because I have been whacking clay in and out, really, really quickly, and little balls of clay, little slivers have been falling down on the inside, and they're hitting off the element and giving a banging smell. Now, I'm in a little room. I didn't notice. It was only yesterday my wife said, Paul, there's a banging smell in the rest of the house. Now, any model makers out there, you all know that your smelling capabilities is absolutely screwed with the amount of chemicals that we've been, let's not say sniffing, but in the environments we have, we're in all the time, probably not as good as they should be. No, this, okay, cool. This here, I'm happy with that. This here, this nice fleshy bit, and what's nice about it, there's the cheekbone, and this fleshy bit here, and I don't know if he smiled a lot or not. or it's just I have them here. These lines in here, and they're just happening. This fat here is falling down on top from the cheekbone and creating these lovely lines. But what it also does is it puffs this out, and then it caves in itself, and then puffs out another side. So that's what I want to emulate on this side here, right there. 44 days going on 400. I don't see that. Well, if it's 400, I'll definitely have this fella sculpted and probably have started. Well, I am starting an online course. So again, lads, I'm going to keep asking that question because there's some people coming in and out for the Sculpt a Skull course. I'm going to start on the 9th of May. Some people thought it was today, and they were freaking out because they know clay. No, this week I've been up to my eyeballs, and next week I'm going to be up to my eyeballs again with college stuff, trying to just make sure that stuff ticks off rightly and the way it should. So I've been talking to an awful lot of students this week, but it will be starting on the Sculpt a Skull on the 9th of May, and I've been asking people, and I want your opinion. Do you want do you want a full day? And we will get it done in a day. If we don't, and everybody's still not finished, I'll do more. But a full day, or what do you think, Paddy Hine? A full day, or let's say we do it on Wednesday, we do it on a Saturday, like I usually do. But I am more than happy, because this is the way I usually do it. Is I'm working with people. I work intensively with people, and we will, like, sometimes we start at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, don't finish until 6. I'm not proposing that, but I'm just wondering what people would like. I know, Momo, you would like to have a day. That's what I would like, but I didn't want to. People might be, they might have kids, they might not be able to do it in a full day. But I'm happy to do it full day. Passed it by my wife already, and she's cool. Now, this fat here will fall and push out this fat. There will be a little bit of a kink there, because this is rippling on itself, but I'm going to fill it out a little bit. Yeah. And as I said, because of and if you have signed up for Sculpt a Skull, the PDF that I've sent you, I've updated it. Not yet the one that's online. I have it here. I spent all day yesterday on. I will be updating it, making it easier. I'm going to give you a few options as well, and I'm going to talk in depth when we are actually doing the course on how you would sculpt it to mold it, and I was going to do a molding session later on. Momo, she was on to me and was saying that she would like to buy some silicone. I assume when you say resin, maybe you can tell me, do you want to use PU, polyurethane resin, or do you want to use fiberglass resin? Do you want to use epoxy? If it was me, I'd be using either epoxy or PU. No. What I would say about that is that you shouldn't be using PU in your bedroom. You shouldn't be using PU in your toilet. You shouldn't be using PU in the living room. The PU, short for polyurethane resin. If you look at it's called an MSDS sheet. MSDS. The serial. material safety data sheet. Every single product that has ever been made on this planet has a material safety data sheet. So if you don't get it with your product, ask. If you go, if you're buying online, I nearly guarantee MBFG, my big friendly giant up north, Neil's, Mold Life. Well, Mold Life is sort of better when it comes down to MSDS sheets. So if you read the MSDS sheet for polyurethane resin, there's a term, and sort of the base chemical in polyurethane is that kicks off and creates a gas. You don't see this gas straight up close. You can actually see this gas, and I only speak this from experience. We did years ago, a stupid numpty stuff. We had a table full of open block molds, and we were pouring polyurethane resin in. And like I was going, this is great, smells lovely, and like it's non-toxic. Hadn't got a clue. And there were other people who were saying that that's mad. You can see this mist over the table. We were going, what mist? And sorry, this was frozen. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, the neck looks good with the shoulders. For some reason, this is frozen. People are saying to ask me questions. Just wait 1 second. Thank you, thank you, Paul, for keeping us sane. Whatever saying is, absolutely, but it's keeping me sane too. So if I can do this and I keep saying and you keep saying, that's all good to me. So what are we saying here? You're kind-hearted. That's a good thing. Thank you very much. 44 days. It's cloudy. Oh, it's cloudy in Dublin. It's not. I tell you, it's a little bit cloudy here, but by God, it's hot out there. Let me see. Sorry, I didn't realize that this. Newgrange Willow. Give me a name. Newgrange Willow. A full day. Cool. Caitlin, you want to do it. You want a full day. Banshee Creations. Full day. Would be fab. Can't always join on the Wednesdays with work. Yeah. You see, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking more on what do you call it? The people who are working. People who are actually doing jobs that are keeping this whole fucking country ticking. I'm going to go back to the PU. I didn't realize that wasn't working. So I think it'll be a full day. So I apologize to everybody that it doesn't suit, but heck, I'm sure we might even do another day. We'll see how the first one goes. So back to PU, this mist over the table, and people are saying that's mad. And so we didn't read the MSDS sheet. We didn't have respirators on. And the respirator you should use is called a 3M respirator, and it's got an organic filter, organic vapor filter on it. I don't even know. I have one somewhere. So I were at the end of that day, was going home in my car, a little bit high, and like that's and I'm saying this now, lads. I didn't realize this, and I found it. I was getting a little bit hard to breathe, and what was happening was with I know now what happens is with polyurethane resin and the isocyanates that's going it's called flashing off or venting off, and it's going into the atmosphere. You take it into your lungs. Elaine, that good to put a name. Oh, Elaine, I've seen your stuff. It's beautiful online. I didn't know anything about this. I had a bit of a freak attack because what happens is when the isocyanates go into your lungs, the hairs in your lungs say, "Oh crap, there's something coming into my lungs," and the water or moisture or mucus tries to get rid of it. And what happens then is you find it hard to breathe. And so I went to the doctor and he said, "What the hell are you doing?" He thought I was having an asthmatic attack, which I sort of was. And we couldn't really figure out what was happening. And eventually I did figure out what was happening. And it was the isocyanate. So don't be fecking doing polyurethane in your bedrooms. Go outside. It's lovely outside. Do it outside. Wear a mask. So there is the health and safety jibber jabber gone. I'll tell you another one. Speaking of skulls, I was on For All My Sins, Mystic Nights of Tiernan years ago. So what I'm trying to do now is jibber jabber, as well as get that fat rolling down onto this fat, which is hanging off the cheek. So on Mystic Nights, we were making skulls, and the first few skulls we made were made out of polyurethane resin. And some numpty, who will remain nameless, thought it'd be a good idea that, and it did work, that you would burn with a blowtorch the polyurethane resin. Gives you a lovely bony look. Problem. I got a waft of this up because I wasn't doing it. I was working on a bench. Got a waft of it into my lungs and had an instant reaction to it. Had to go to the doctor again. Asthmatic attack, and my lungs were filling up with liquid, and I found it very difficult to breathe. And they were thinking that they might have to bring me in the hospital. So with isocyanates, please be careful. If you look at the MSDS sheet, it will say wear a respirator in a well-vented space, or a well-ventilated space. Toilets, no. Bedrooms, no. Kitchen, definitely not. So go outside. The only problem you're going to have outside is that the polyurethane resin loves, and what kicks it off really, really well is heat. And it's really warm outside. So you're going to have to either be quick or, I don't know if he's here, Paddy, not Paddy, hi Mayor, Kieran Bonner, I don't know if he's here or not, but a couple of years ago, we were working on a stop motion animation series, Igamogam 2, and it was absolutely stunning out in Connemara, absolutely stunning. And it was that stunning. We were out in Costla that at lunchtime we would go down to the beach to Stradolin, and it's a coral beach, and we go swimming. The problem was that our resins, which we were using a lot of polyurethane resin, that's a tight haircut, Paul. You're not mad about it. Listen, it had to be done. It's too warm, and it was getting a bit scraggly on top. So Anna had to do it myself. So that was yesterday, and it's nice and cool. So I'm sorry about the actual style, but had to be done. So we're back to Igamogam. Our resins were literally, we'd mix it up in a cup, and it would literally go off in the cup. And oh, you're not mad. I know you said you're not mad about it. We were mixing polyurethane resin up in the cup, and it literally was going off in the cup, which is like, wasting money. So what we had to do was buy a fridge and put all our resins in the fridge. And now this fridge was dedicated to just the resins. Do not mix resins with food. And it would cool everything down, and we would be able to get it mixed and into the mold, and get all the air bubbles out of it as well. So if you're going to use polyurethane, do it outside. Or if you have a spray boot, use it. That's what we had on Igamogam, spray boot. So what I'm trying to do is build up this fat, lads. And as I said again, I'm gonna have to cut off this ear and move it back. Now, what's nice now is that I can look at reference and say, well, that fat. I'm trying to get that down and getting into the actual sculpt. This sort of stuff here, getting out the shoulder and the back and the shoulder. It's a necessity. Makes it look really nice. Gives it continuity, as in brings it all together, and it sort of is continuity the right word, Mary? You'd be able to tell me. I'm not too sure. But it brings it all together, and you're able to see it all, and it's very pleasing. But that takes ages to do. This is the nice stuff, and this is where you're actually building up the likeness. I know. So lads, I'm going to cut it off definitely at 4 o'clock, because I know maybe now everybody can't get outside. I feel sorry for people who can't. But I'm going out, and as I said, I have a digger waiting for me, and I want to be doing big sculpting with a garden. Cool. Robert Nolan, I haven't seen you in years, absolute years. Hi, Carolina. No. So, lads, if you want to do Sculpt the Skull, go on to the website, and what I will do is sign up to it. There's no contracts or anything like that, lads. I'm not making any money, so don't let that fool you. All I'm doing is because you will get an email back, and it has a PDF on it. It only has one PDF. I've actually changed it since. I've made it better. And what I will be doing is sending out an email to everybody, and that's what's sort of happening, is that I have too busy to be able to take people's emails. I was getting people messaging me. I was getting people ringing me. I was getting people, messaging me on multiple platforms. And I was afraid that I would lose somebody's, like I had a Word document there and people's names on it. And that there was a bit Neanderthal, to be honest. So I wanted to make sure that nobody misses out who wants to do it, because you actually made the effort of signing up. So what I get is your email, and I will send you an updated PDF. I'll send you a list of materials. I'm going to do that soon. You don't have to have everything. I'm going to put everything on it. I'm going to put ideal stuff on it, but you don't have to have everything at all. And if you haven't got clay, go in for the competition. You might win a block. Well, it's not a block, it's half a block. You only need half a block to sculpt this head. I will send you on a couple of references as well, and I'll also have stuff on the day. But it's just for me to keep a track record of, and I did, like, oh my god, I couldn't like this. If I don't know what it is now, but there's 50 people who want to do the course, so which is cool. And I'm learning as I'm going here, lads, keeping track of people's emails and lists and stuff like that. My god. And again, I'm not making money out of this, because as somebody sent me a message, thought I was trying to make money. I'm not making money. Holy moly. Who the hell is making money at this time? I pop into when all this is over. Yeah, pop in. Shane, what's the story? Shane, did you get your tools yet? Shane was one of the winners who won the sculpting tools. I sent them out. Hopefully you got them. When did I send them? Oh, you wouldn't got them. I think I only sent them yesterday. Let me know when you get them. Now there's a bit sunken in here, and it's too sunken in, and it's been put in. this side off for quite some time, so I am going to fill it. And if you look at the other side, it needs to be built out on this side because it's too sunken in. So I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to get it right. Another thing, lads, the course will be on YouTube. I will be going live on YouTube. Now I will also be will try and go live on other platforms, but it's the one platform that I can do that everybody can go on now, and it doesn't cost anybody anything or anything like that. It's just that it's a lot easier for me. The other thing is that like some people have a Facebook account, some people do not. Some people have an Instagram account, some people do not. Some people do not have either. So I thought YouTube would be the easiest. Also, I can reconfigure my screen so you can see me, you can see the sculpt, and I can throw slides up as well. Another learning curve, believe you me. So it'll be on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go there, go to the website and click on the YouTube channel sign and subscribe, and make sure you don't miss out on anything there. All the tutorials that I've done so far, all of the lives as well are all up on YouTube. Everything I've done to date, if you're saying, oh, that was cool, or I'd like to see that again, go to the YouTube channel. They're all there. And they are on the website as well. But go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to it. This is well something, Jesus. The website is www.paulmcdonnell, McDonnell, design, design.com. So go on there and sign up for the course, and then that you can go onto YouTube from there and subscribe on that, and you'll see loads of more stuff on there. So I'm going to put loads more tutorials up there as well. And one of the tutorials would be, now I know there are people out there that are well au fait with making how you, James? Well au fait with making a silicone mold. There's people out there who haven't got a clue. And now you can actually see when I do that, where is it? There should be a little further out. So this has actually been helping me, because that there is mirror image. When I look at it, it's different to the way I see it. So when I look at it and turn around, so that's not same. So it's actually really good. Oh yeah, I will be doing I think I have enough. I will be doing a silicone mold. It'll be a simple block mold, and I will be popping the skull that I make out of polyurethane resin. Actually, I have actually that might be cool. What might be really cool is to go through, I don't know if people are out there know about this sort of stuff, so it might be a cool exercise to do. If we wanted to make a clear skull, I have to see if I have enough stuff. I think I might have stuff, because can you see? Let me see if I get out of the way. No, just let me twist this. That eye in the background, to make the eye, I had to get a stuff called OptiClear. And OptiClear you would get from MDFG up north, and brilliant. I think that is OptiClear 2000. And so yeah, that could be cool. I'm making this up as I go, lads. So we sculpt the skull. I'm going to show you how to mold the skull. Now to mold it and make sure you get no bubbles and all that sort of stuff in your mold. There's a machine. What is it called? A machine? Yeah, it's called a machine. A machine called a vacuum chamber. I have one downstairs, and we can now. Jesus, this place is going to get even smaller. So I'll bring that up and show you how that works and where I got it. There was actually a few people. Paul Shanahan was looking to get a recommendation for one. I'll talk about where I get them and why I got that particular one. And then once we have all that ready, I have another yoke. So it's called a pressure pot. And again, these are all downstairs. These are actually downstairs. I don't have a workshop. This is the kids' bedroom, playroom. They're in my son's bedroom, and that's where, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff is stored. And he keeps telling me when's the workshop coming, and it's soon. I keep telling him. So the pressure chamber is downstairs. You need a compressor to make it work. I'll tell you why I use that, how I use that, and what stuff you need to be able to use it. So that'll be another cool one to do. So I'll do that tutorial after I need something to mold first. So I'll use the skull I make to make that tutorial. Then we'll put that up. So if you don't want to miss that tutorial, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you don't want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, cool. You can go to the website. Yeah, I have it linked so you can see it there. No, that is fucking roasting. So, what time are we? 4 minutes left, lads. So, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this, and at 4 o'clock, I am leaving. I'm sorry about that, but it's too nice a day, and all ye lot should go outside. I want to go outside and enjoy the little bit of sunshine that we have. So that'll be a cool workshop to do. So we'll do that, and the pressure chamber, and I'll actually see if I have enough. I think I do. I'll try and make a clear skull. So you know, like a crystal skull. Right, who's the film fans? What was the crystal skull from? Was that an Indiana Jones, was it? How are the bees? Bees are good. I was with the bees yesterday, and the bee last year I had to do a forced swarm or split, and I created a new hive, and that there is full of bees. Oh my god! So I got to see bees emerging from their being born, essentially, and eggs, the queen, and all three. I have 3 hives now. I used to have 2, so it is hopping out there, and why wouldn't it be with this weather? Yeah, cool. That's fleshing out nicely. What film was it from, lads? The Crystal Skull. It was Indiana Jones. It was Indiana Jones. So what I'm going to do is do a crystal skull. That'd be cool. Now there's just so you know, what do I call it? OptiClear, or what's it? OptiClear? OptiCast. I think it's OptiClear or OptiCast. I can't fully remember. When I get the stuff, I'll be able to tell you. OptiClear or OptiCast 2000. You get it from MVFG. It's no, I think I'm 100% right in saying it. It's an epoxy, and the epoxies take a long time to go off. And what that is good for is the air bubbles. Allow the air bubbles to come either to the surface or allow me, when I put it into a pressure pot, to shrink the air bubbles down so small that you can't even see them. So it's a brilliant product. Do I sell honey? Nope, I don't sell the honey. I give it away to people who are nice to me. Yeah, fucking right. Get out to the orchard and enjoy the weather. So I think it's about 22 seconds. Lads, Instagram, thanks a million for joining in. I really do appreciate it. Share out, share, enter the competition and join up for Sculpt the Skull. So share it out there. Let's try and get 100 people doing this. That's what my intention was, get as many people sculpting as possible. So let's get bucket loads of people sculpting the skull. So 2 seconds. Slán, and everybody on Facebook, thank you very much for joining in. I really do appreciate it. And oh, Anne-Marie, I saw the article in there's in the Argos and Dundalk lads, and they did an article on me, and I couldn't believe it. It's nearly 2 pages, or 1 3/4. So thanks for putting that together, Anne-Marie. Slán, lads, and see you on Wednesday. And YouTube, Slán. Yeah, that eye needs to be fixed. Great.